Hey, welcome back. This is today's update with Angry Tim. So as promised, I wanted to get into the layoff thing. We mentioned all the stores closing, 7-Eleven, Buca de Beppo, Red Lobster, Denny's, Big Lots. A lot of stores are closing. They're moving to new locations. Some of them are just closing underperforming stores. Well, what happens to the people who work there? Let's say you have a 7-Eleven in an older neighborhood. They don't want to fix it up. They don't want to remodel it. So they just decide to close it and they open up a new 7-Eleven in that new, nicer neighborhood, new schools, new shopping centers, new apartments, new hospitals. Um, you would think, okay, maybe they'll take the workers from the closed stores and put them in the new stores, but how does that work? Because now the rent, for them to work in that new neighborhood, they'll have to pay higher rents. Hopefully their pay is much better, but most likely I'm not sure. Does the pay go up when you move from an older store to a newer store, from a worse area to a better area? Can they afford the rent in that newer neighborhood? I don't. Let me know in the comments if you know. But most likely, they're probably going to hire new people who live there already. I don't know if they're going to be transferring all their old employees to the new location. So what happens to the older employees? So you're in this older neighborhood. You work at 7-Eleven, and then all of a sudden they said, hey, this the roof is bad, it's outdated, it needs new floors, it needs new equipment. We don't want to spend the money. It's not that profitable. We're just going to shut it down. And sorry, all of you guys are out of work now. So now the community, they lost their 7-Eleven, and all the workers have no work. And if they wanted to go work somewhere else, most likely all the other convenience stores or similar type of places, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, all these places aren't hiring because they're doing something similar. They're trying to cut costs or shut down these stores, but they're definitely not trying to remodel these stores and bring in new customers. They're just trying to keep it alive until it's no longer profitable, and then they just shut them down, and these people are out of work. So I don't know what happened to these people, and what happens to these neighborhoods. Um, it seems like it happens like every maybe 15 to 20 years. You'll have a new development, like where that new 7-Eleven just opened up. They got the new schools, new apartments, new shopping centers, hospitals, restaurants, all these new things. They got all the new workers there. And over the course of 10 to 15 years, I guess it just starts to degrade. Crime starts to pick up. It's not as nice. It's not new. Um, and then it just kind of slowly goes downhill. And then they end up building another further away from all of this new development. In the future, it's an older development. So they go further away from whatever the city or the crime, and they make a new development. And you kind of see the same thing. You'll have a 7-Eleven open up there. You'll have all the new stores, all the new restaurants, and then the old ones, they just kind of shut them down, fire everyone, and it just starts to fall apart. It's almost like we're like a bunch of locusts going field to field. It's like nothing can just stay nice. It's like it starts off nice. They got new jobs, new buildings, new stores, new restaurants, new apartments, new schools. Everything's great. Then it just starts to go bad over time, and everyone says, "Hey, I don't want to live here anymore. The crime is bad. The jobs are bad. It's not safe." So they go out and they build a whole new little town, and everyone moves there, and they leave everyone behind. So I don't know if that's what I've noticed in my life. Let me know if that's something you've seen, or if something like that happened in your neighborhood. Um, and then what happens to all these people? There's no job. They can't just move to the new town. I mean, maybe some of them can. Maybe management can go and work at the new location, the new restaurant. But I don't think everyone's getting transferred. I think they're just hiring new people, and the old ones are just kind of left behind. And you know, they the neighborhood was already going downhill, so that's why they opened up that whole new town. So now the older neighborhood just gets even worse as more stores shut down, more people are out of work. it just gets worse and worse. So it's almost like we're a bunch of nomads. There's a small group of people. They just keep moving place to place to every new development, and in their wake is just old, you know, rundown stores that close up, vacant. I don't know if homeless people start moving into these old stores. If no one wants to lease it, who would want to lease it once 7-Eleven closes? Would you want to go and buy that building and open up your own convenience store if 7-Eleven couldn't keep it going, or if a Family Dollar, uh, sorry, yeah, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree closes up? Would you want to go as an investor, go and buy that building or lease that space and try and open up a store there when these big multi-million dollar companies could not keep it open? I heard even Starbucks is starting to close locations. So, I mean, they're in the best possible spots right off the main highways. But if a Starbucks closes, what are your chances to, lease that or buy that spot and open up your own coffee shop? I don't know what's going to happen to all these stores. Some of them are large, like Big Lots, the 99-cent store. Some of these are very huge stores, and that's I don't they'll have to divide it up and rent it to multiple tenants because I don't see how anyone can just rent such a huge space and expect to make any money when these big guys who've been there for years gave up. And again, going back to the layoffs, it is sad, but um, my only advice is for a lot of people is again, get a side hustle, do something, try and do something online. Having a 9 to 5 job, 40-hour a week paycheck is just that's not. We've lost that social contract a long time ago. Um, I don't know if it ever was, but it definitely is not now the responsibility of any company or business owner to provide jobs. That's not why people are starting companies. They're not thinking, how can I employ the most people? Unfortunately, everything's it's just about profit. If they can make something in America cheaper than they can make it overseas, they'll make it here if it's more profitable. But the moment it switches to, hey, I can make, my shoes cheaper overseas than in America now, well, I'm closing my whole factory and everyone's fired. They have no loyalty to the employees. It doesn't matter if, it's 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, you've been there and they don't care. As soon as the profit switches from more profitable making it overseas compared to making it here, they're gone. There is no loyalty. And it's the same. The employees don't have any loyalty really either, and I don't blame them to the company. Um, if someone offered, if a competitor opened up a shoe store down the street and said, hey, you're getting paid 20 bucks an hour, I'll give you 40 bucks an hour, you come work for my shoe company, these guys will leave. It doesn't matter if they were employed, for 10, 15, 20 years with the previous shoe company. As soon as someone offers better benefits, better pay, better anything, um, they're out of there. So it kind of goes both ways, but the idea that social contract where, the company will take care of you for life, that was kind of how it was long ago when you worked for Ford or you worked for whatever, any company. They took care of you for life. Unless you did a major screw up, you pretty much had a job until retirement, then you got your pension, everything was great. But nowadays, there's no loyalty. If anything, they'll find a way to fire you before you qualify for that pension. So you can't look at a job as like a long-term career anymore. I mean, as quick as they're going to just fire you, move their factory from one state to another or from one country to another, you got to be ready to move from one company or one source of income. You don't have to get your income from a job. You got to find ways to make your own income and get it from multiple places, multiple sources of income. That's my only advice. If you just have a job 9 to 5 at 7-Eleven, a restaurant or something, and that's all you do, you should be worried right now because you don't know that restaurant or that store where you're working. It might seem like, hey, it's busy. It seems like a pretty good neighborhood. I don't think they're going to shut this one down. Everything's in good condition. We don't, nothing's broken. So I don't see why they'll shut it down. You don't know. They might. just call you, or they might just have a little note on the door saying, sorry, we're closed as of today. All of you are fired or laid off. So just, you can't, just, you should always have that in the back of your mind that, hey, it doesn't matter where I'm working, how long I've been working there, you can get cut off tomorrow. And you should have a plan B, a plan C, and also not only have the plan, but be working it right now. Because that day, unfortunately, will happen to a lot of us out there. Just these companies don't care, especially with AI now. A lot of people will lose their jobs. It could be a desk job, a remote job. You can be an online, like on Fiverr, doing gigs online. But as soon as AI can do it, your customers, I mean, again, there's no loyalty in business. Your customers, maybe you were doing stuff on the side, you were editing videos or music or something online you're doing for them, doing web design. But as soon as AI can do that cheaper or for free, even though, okay, your friends, if I like what you've done for the last 5 years, they're no longer going to give you money. You know, that's just how it is. Customers, consumers want the cheapest price. There's no loyalty to a specific person or brand, or they just want the best price. If Walmart has it for this price, Target has it for this price, Costco has it for, they'll just go for the cheapest one. It doesn't matter. Walmart, a new store could open up in your town. Walmart can close. If they offer the same products for the same price even, or even cheaper, they'll just go there. It doesn't matter. There's no loyalty to your grocery store. And the grocery store has no loyalty to you or its employees. So just that idea that the companies have to employ people, it's their job, it's their duty. They don't care. That's why you see them close. They don't blink an eye. And that's all I have for you today. I'll get more into this later, but I just wanted a quick update on my thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. Um, but sadly, it's becoming more and more common, and I I almost expect it. When they'll just close it as soon as it's not profitable for them. Gone. We're gonna move factory to another country. We're gonna close this location. Goodbye, employees. Bye. So I'll be back with more. Thanks. That's your daily update with Angry Tim.